Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Cooper versus Cistercian tonight on the Cooper Broadcasting Network. Testing 1 2. No, we're good? All righty, thank you. We are good. Our audio has been taken care of. As we look back at the recap, again, quarterbacks, Vaughn McKeever, number 12 for the Dragons, coming into the ball game, and his last appearance against Cistercian was 21 of 29 for 307 and 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. His counterpart for the Hawks, Dan O'Toole, kind of an Irish name, if I've ever heard one, was 7 of 20 for 100 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Running backs. Owen Batsgaard got a ton of carries in that first ball game against the Hawks. 15 carries, 69 yards. McKeever carried it 9 times for 36 yards. And Pierce, 4 carries for 19 yards. The other side, the Hawks, led by Devin Comstock, 8 carries, 41 yards. Dan O'Toole, the quarterback, 14 carries for 37 yards. Wide receivers, Will Young for the Dragons, 8 receptions, 172 yards and a touchdown. Kyler Sullivan, 8 receptions, 129 yards and 1 touchdown. James Maciola, 3 receptions, 48 yards and 1 touchdown. And Gamble Reed, 3 receptions, 38 yards and a touchdown. For the Hawks, they were led by number 3, Masaki Baracoli, senior, 3 receptions, 25 yards. Number 7, Devin Comstock, one of the captains, had 1 reception for 63 yards, and that was a touchdown reception. And number 25, Nanso Uno, had 1 reception for 7 yards. Punting, Dan O'Toole had 4 punts for 107 yards, averaging 26.8. Will Young had 2 putts in that ball game. Punts, I should say. Anything less than a title tonight would certainly be a disappointment on what's been a fantastic season for these singers, these 14 singers. Of course, last home game against Fort Worth Country Day was Senior Recognition Day, recognizing all of the singers: John Paul Levy, Jackson Pierce, James Maciola, Gamble Reed, Blake Pitts, Ryan Cockrell, Will Young, Connor Dove, Patrick Wilkins, and the boys up front, William Bezo, Jackson Sisson, Owen Woodside, Evan Harrison, and then the secondary, Ronnie Woodall, all their last high school football game as a John Cooper Dragon. We expect to have a good crowd on hand tonight on what turned out to be a nice evening for some high school football in a beautiful stadium here at Dallas Jesuit, home of the Rangers. That stadium I know fairly well as the Oak Ridge Warriors baseball team. We played here back in I believe it was 16 or 17, in a home-for-home ball game. And good folks here at Dallas Jesuit always do a tremendous job playing host. An earlier action, kind of a surprise, Episcopal Dallas came into the ball game undefeated, lost to Kincaid. Kincaid able to take home the 4A SPC championship. Of course, Episcopal lost their quarterback early in the ball game, and that was the difference maker. But the Kincaid defense really played outstanding in that earlier ball game as they take home the 4A SPC title. Postal Stadium, Dallas Jesuit in Addison, or suburb of Dallas, Addison, Texas. As we are just moments away, 8 minutes away from kickoff. It's been a quick 2020 season, but we're already here at the end in ball game number 10. Of course, the Dragons wasn't looking too good at that beginning. Lost to a very good St. John's team at St. John's. Then lost in an overtime game to Lutheran South and started the season at 0-2. But they got things turned around and able to string together 7 wins in a row. Let's look at common opponents real quickly. Both John Cooper and Cistercian defeated Cassidy. Cooper won that ball game by a score of 50-7. And the Hawks won it by a score of 42-14. Fort Worth Country Day. Cooper beat Fort Worth Country Day 48-7. And the Hawks beat them 27-12. Oak Ridge School, the Oak Ridge School, not the Oak Ridge War Eagles. Cooper defeated the Oak Ridge School 40-21. And the Hawks won 36-7. Trinity Valley, when we were up here last time in Dallas, the Dragons beat Trinity Valley 47-19. And Cistercian actually lost to Trinity Valley 26-0. Green Hill, the Dragons defeated Green Hill 62-26. And the Hawks beat Green Hill 69-35. So Cistercian, the Hawks coming in overall 5-4, 4-2 in SPC play. And again, John Cooper coming in with a record of 7-2, 6-0. So we talked about Dallas Episcopal. They came into the ball game earlier today against Kincaid at 10-0, 5-0 in SPC play. And they lost to the Kincaid Ball Club. And here come your Dragons. Dragons wearing white uniforms, green letters, helmets trimmed in green stripes, pants white with green stripes. For the Hawks, they're in their dark uniforms with the white lettering. Cooper is tonight's visitors. On the scoreboard, you will not see the scoreboard. We're working with one camera short, working with 2 instead of 3. But nevertheless, your Dragons are ready to breathe fire, and they want to come off. And one of the keys, we'll talk about a couple of keys for the Dragons to come away with the victory. Number 1, eliminate the penalties. You've got to reduce your penalties. Number 2, eliminate any mistakes, turnovers, interceptions, and mental mistakes. And number 3, come off with a fast start. Captains will make their way to midfield. Cooper, even though they're the visitor tonight, making this more like a home game at Dragon Stadium, Pew Field. They've got the banners all hung around the fences and the flags are flying high, and high expectations tonight for these Cooper Dragons. Captains making their way to midfield would be number 55, Patrick Wilkins. Number 18, Blake Pitts. Number 65, William Biso. And number 13, Gamble Reed. Captains for the Hawks. Number 7, Devin Comstock. He's a senior linebacker and running back. Number 9, Eli Sanford. He is a defensive back and running back. Number 58, Cole Boyd, offensive lineman. And number 77, Alex or to Maddie. Devin Comstock, their running back, will not see action tonight as he got hurt. Instead, they'll use Eli Sanford, number 9, in the backfield. Captains meeting at midfield. Cooper, if they win the toss, don't be surprised if they defer to the second half. As the officials conferring with the captains. Of course, this ball game tonight on the YouTube channel at Cooper. Doesn't cost you a thing. Free broadcast, as always. And why would you pay for something when you can get it for free? That makes no sense to me. Officials still conferring at midfield. Beautiful field here at Dallas Jesuit. Turf field. As now the captains will move over and pick a side. Cistercian was going to be defending the south side. And the Dragons will take the north side. South side closest to the scoreboard. North side furthest away from the scoreboard. I know my north and south only because the announcer told me. As we line up for our national anthem. Let's pause a moment and tune into the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and kindly remove your hats and direct your attention to the north end zone for tonight's national anthem. Now to honor America and all the Americans around the world, the playing of our national anthem.
Of course, the Dragons were off last week, had an open week, give them a chance to heal up everybody, get everybody healthy, and everybody, for the most part, able to come back, except for, I believe, number 22, Ryan Cockrell. And Cistercian, kind of a surprise opponent, as it was looking like it would be either Fort Worth Country Day or Trinity Valley. However, the Stars did not align for that matchup, and Cooper finds themselves taking on the Cistercian Hawks. Hawks in their navy uniforms. Dark navy, almost looks black to me. That's a real dark navy. They will have the offense on the field first. Dragons kicking off, north to south, right to left. Will Young will do the kicking. He was warming up before the ball game, kicking field goals from about 54 yards out. And we are ready to go in this SPC title game. Get your popcorn, as Lane Kiffin would say. An onside kick. And Cooper will have it. Number 80 on the return, but you can't advance that. Ronnie Woodall, the senior, with a big-time recovery. And the Dragons, that's that quick start we talked about.
A flag on the play.
We had a sign blocking our view, so we had to alert the signee. I thought it was a water spot at first. I was like, wait a minute, it's not raining. And the Dragons will also tack on an extra 15. So that quick start, let's see if it pays off. Dragons will have it down inside the 40.
Against Cistercian.
At the 35, 30, you call it the 34. 34-yard line. Cooper will set up 1st and 10. Now don't be shocked if McKeever decides to go long right off the bat. They're going to go empty.
The Dragons will have control of the football.
Young and Maciola on the left side. 3 receivers on the right. Reed, one of those 3, along with Sullivan on the inside slot, and Hamlin on the far outside. Or Hammett, excuse me. Back to throw. McKeever, he's looking, he is still looking. Go into the end zone, and the pass is picked off. Telegraphed that just a little bit too long, and I thought they would try to go long, but not a good decision for Vaughn McKeever, and that is his first interception in I don't know how long, but not a good choice. He probably should have just tucked it and kept it that time, but he tried to go to the back of the end zone and find, I believe that was Sullivan.
Cistercian will take possession of the football, 1st and 10.
So now the Hawks will take over.
Dan O'Toole picks up at the quarterback position.
And now Hawks deep in their own end. Hand it off to the left side. The Cooper defense trying to go to keep them pinned. 25, not so Uni. They intercepted the ball at the 2. First play, carry it out to the left side. Going to get empty the backfield. They'll go trim to the right, 2 to the left. Quarterback in shotgun, movement up front. As Gamble Reed came across the line, but the offensive tackle reacted to that move, and let's see how the call goes. Let's see if they call it against Cooper. And they do call it against the Hawks, so that'll put them back. Kind of go from an angle here to see the scoreboard down on the south end. 2nd down and 9. Quarterback going to keep it. Right side on the carry. Trying to get it out to the right. Number 19. Dan O'Toole, the quarterback. He's a big guy. Not tall-wise, but just you can tell he's an athlete. Now empty set. 3rd down, 7. Cooper defense trying to get set up. Speed option to the left. And the Cooper defense does the job. Making the tackle, keeping the clock running. Nunso, Uni was an option back. So now make it a 4th down and 8. Dragons will send back Kyler Sullivan. I'm sure his older brother is probably here tonight to watch his younger brother go for a SPC title. And the punt will lay rest at the 50-yard line. So again, drive number 2. There is a flag, and this may go against the Dragons. We talked about turnovers. And the Dragons already have 1 interception in their first drive. Got to avoid the turnovers. Got to avoid the penalties. And get off to a quick start. And of course, Cooper started it with an onside kick. However, was not able to capitalize on the onside kick. Now the Dragons.
The official call, running into the kicker.
There's a running into the kicker
Not
call.
enough for a first down.
Wasn't enough for the first down, so they'll take the possession at the 50. First and 10 for the Dragons. Dragons moving right to left. They'll go empty set. Okay, Young over here on the left side. Inside of him, Maciola. Gamble Reed inside of Maciola. Hammett on the far side. Sullivan inside of him. Empty backfield. Sullivan, one of their go-to receivers. He was the intended receiver for the first pass from McKeever. McKeever's going to keep the football this time, and he'll get close to the first down. Second down and 2.
Second down, second and
Good
2.
choice by Von McKeever. Empty backfield again. McKeever will keep it again. Straight up the middle. McKeever not afraid to tuck it and run. We didn't get final stats from our last game against Fort Worth Country Day. But coming into that ball game, McKeever was 130 of 230 for 1,684 yards, 17 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He's run the football 78 times for 307 yards. Again, those do not include the stats from Fort Worth Country Day, which we never got the final stats. We were keeping those under lock and key. So now second down and 8, 2-yard gain. We'll see what the Dragons have in mind here. Pierce in the backfield. Pierce off to the left. They'll hand it off to Jackson Pierce, and he will carry it forward for a gain of about 3 or 4. Pierce coming into the ball game, 84 carries, 676 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Again, these stats do not include Fort Worth Country Day. Now they'll flip Reed over to the right side. Jackson on the left side. Handoff Jackson Pierce. He will have the first down. Gets it near the 20. Official will mark it at the 24-yard line. Back. McKeever rolls to his left, throws across inside. Has Young for the first down. Forward progress should make it just enough for the first down. Young coming into the ball game. Let me find his totals.
McKeever's pass is complete to Will Young.
Young, 40 receptions, 652 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now Pierce off to the left side of McKeever. Handoff Pierce. And he'll rumble forward down to about the 5. Now they'll bring in the heavy package. Jumbo package, Reed, Pierce, McKeever. They're going to bring Sullivan out of the ball game. They'll put Pitts in the ball game at one of those lead backs. Reed on his right side. Pierce will be the eye back. Kind of what we used to call a power eye right set. One receiver to the right. Now they'll flip it and go to the left. Hand it off back to the right side, and Pierce It's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jackson Pierce. And the cowbells are ringing. With 7:13 to go in the first quarter. Young will come on for the extra point. So the second drive paying off for the Dragons. Young will try to make it a 7-0 ball game, and he does. 7-0 our score from here at Dallas Jesuit, home of the Rangers. Not the Texas Rangers, the Dallas Jesuit Rangers, which they've had some pretty good baseball teams. They can probably play with the Dallas Rangers. Just saying. Texted my buddy Mike Pierce, or excuse me, Mike Pirtle from Oak Ridge. I told him, look where I'm at. Back at the scene of the crime. So an impressive drive for the Dragons as they put the first points on the board on their second possession. That drive started at the 50 and went 50 yards. Make it a 7-0 ball game. Give a quick shout out again to our athletic field sponsors as football season is concluded. Baseball season, and basketball season, and volleyball season right around the corner. A big shout out to the cross country teams today as they came earlier this morning to Dragonland and had a successful SPC cross country run. Boys and girls both did well. Now the onside again, and this time fielded, and the Hawks are going to return that onside kick for a touchdown. And just like that, the onside attempt, sometimes you roll the dice and hoping for sevens and you get snake eyes and you crap out. And that's exactly how it happened here. So that onside kick fielded by the Hawks, that was number 50, I believe, Connor Roy, the linebacker, and he was ready for it. And just like that, we could have a tie ball game. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And it is 7-7. So the onside kick by the Dragons comes back and bites the Dragons in the booty. 7-7 at the 7:05 mark. So Roy showing good hands, got that one, and just took it the opposite direction to tie the ball game at 7 apiece. I got to be honest, I did not see that coming. Dragons have done well on their onside attempts all season long. Started a couple of weeks ago. However, this time it didn't work out very well. A quick update from Ames, Iowa. Iowa State on top of the University of Texas, 3-0. Now let's see if the Hawks may try to go onside as Cooper may be expecting it. Ball's teed up at the 40 and have only 2 return men back deep. Sullivan is one on the right side. Maciola on the left. Expecting an onside. Here's a little short kick. Fielded at the 25. Maciola will cut to his right, try to get to the right side, and knocked out of bounds. I thought for a minute he might try to shuttle it over to his teammate, Kyler Sullivan. So 7-7 ball game. Cistercian averaging 30 points a ball game. Cooper averaging 41 points per ball game. 7-7 score. Cooper now for the third possession of the ball game. Series number 3. They'll go trips to the left. Single receiver on the right. Back is offset left. Hand off to Pierce, and he will run right up the gut and close to a first down. Gets it out to about the 45-yard line. And the noisemakers, the cowbells, are all out. You've got to have more cowbell. Famous Saturday night skit. Quick throw, Sullivan, left side, has a man, misses, and there's a flag coming in. And they may call Maciola on a hold. All he really had to do was get in front of him and shield him. Let's see what the officials calls. I think it is going to go against the Dragons. Again, one of the keys of the ball game, eliminate the penalties. That time, Maciola trying to make a play. You can't fault him for the effort. It's the execution. So now they'll move it back. Second down, and we got to do it again. Second and 11 now. So instead of having a 3rd and 1, McKeever rolls right, and Young into the chain, man. You've got to drop the chain, my man. When the runner is coming at you, your number one rule is to drop that chain and get out of the way. But it'll be a Cooper first down. 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 48, looking right down the line of scrimmage. Handoff Basgard. Glad to see him back in action. Owen Basgard, the ball carrier that time. Not the biggest tool in the shed, but a very sharp tool. Can make that quick break.
Basgard on the carry.
Sullivan on the right. Reed on the right. Empty backfield for McKeever. McKeever going to call his own number. Gets a nice block from Gamble Reed. That secured the edge and gets McKeever close to the first down marker. It'll be a 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.
On the carry.
Trips to the right. Basgard on the left. Handoff Basgard. And Hill will get the first down. Kind of held up for a second.
Will be enough for a first down.
First down for the Dragons. Handoff again inside. Basgard picking his way.
Basgard on the carry.
Second down, and let's call it 7. Pierce for the Dragons. Need to get the first down here. Reed.
No.
Pierce is not back. In fact, he'll lose a few.
Pierce on the handoff.
So they tried to pound it on the left side.
Got to bring up 4th down.
And Pierce, nothing there. Defensive line for the Hawks did a nice job up front. Let's credit Alex Armati. Number 76, Connor Lipscomb. And number 70, Carter Soberg. Motion. Dragons going to go for it. Out to Maciola. They got the first down. The drive stays alive. First and 10 Dragons. Maciola with the first down reception now. Trips right, single receiver left. McKeever rolls to his right, looks back at the end zone, and trying to get to Sullivan. Sullivan around the 5-yard line. Couldn't get it there.
Intended for Sullivan.
Trying to find Sullivan.
2nd down, 2nd and 10.
But just couldn't quite connect. It's not always great. Could be a offensive penalty. Now they'll bring in Reed. 7-7 is our score. 3:30 to go here in the first quarter. Coach Randy Wiley on the broadcast tonight.
An eligible receiver downfield.
So they call it an ineligible receiver downfield, and that is not uncommon when you go into an empty set. Now trips to the right, 2 to the left. McKeever back, going to roll, set up the screen, trying to keep it and get to the corner. And he is not going to get there. He'll be slung out of bounds.
McKeever on the quarterback keeper.
And that time the down marker guys did what they were supposed to do and just drop the sticks and get out of the way.
Artemani on the defensive stop.
So now,
the Hawks. A loss of 1 on the play.
And
brings up third down.
Move it back a yard, so it's going to be 3rd and 11. Trips to the right. Pierce, right side of the backfield. Young by himself over on the left. Now Pierce will flip over to the left side. A lot of times they'll like to roll that pocket left. Quick throw. Has his receiver, but will be short of the first down by about a yard. No, they're going to move it. He got it. From my angle, I thought he was short. So Cooper first down. Coming from the 50-yard line, looking down to the Pierce. Going to rumble down inside the 5. It's a 1st and goal. Now, 2nd down.
Inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal.
Second, or 1st down and goal to goal at the 7. Back to the heavy set. Pierce. The lone back behind Sullivan. And in the corner of the end zone, finding his man. Gamble Reed. Reed, one of the upbacks, along with Blake Pitts. McKeever rolled left side, found himself wide open. And with 2:18 to go here in the first quarter, Dragons trying to make it a 14-7 lead as the JCS flag crew running across this beautiful track here at Ranger Stadium. Extra point attempt is good. Our new score from Dallas Jesuit, John Cooper 7 and Hawks 7. Let's take a look at what gift to the campaign is very important. Ensures the continued growth and development of the John Cooper School for a challenging environment. Discovery, abundant opportunities. They'll go empty back. Flip to the left side. O'Toole back to throw. Has a man open. Got to make the tackle after the catch. That's number 9, Eli Stanford. Wide receiver on that far side.
Eli Stanford on the reception.
88, Landry Pingle over here on the right side. Inside of him is Makasi Rakiola. And I know that I'm not pronouncing his name. He was supposed to be right. F-R-A-C-C-A-R-O-L-I. So now same formation, trips left, 2 to the right. Motion back. They ran this earlier in the ball game. They bring Nunzo, number 25, from that slot position into motion. They run that option game with him. But that time, it was illegal procedure against the Hawks.
After the penalty, football marched back to the 41-yard line.
So now that'll move them back 5. Makes it a 2nd down and 9. A minute 34 to go here in the first quarter. Cooper Dragons lead at 14-7. You're listening to John Cooper Football. Option left side. O'Toole. Carson Berger, junior linebacker, right there to help with the stop. Along with number 66, Jack Sisson.
Makes it a 3rd down call. 3rd and 9.
Now 3rd down and 9. Big defense and had the man open. And they get it to number 9. Or Country Day had a lot of success against the Dragon defense with that inside route in their last SPC ball game. And the Hawks doing the same thing right here. So a big 1st down opportunity. Hawks able to pick it up. But they're going to probably let this clock run all the way down at 30 seconds. They got 16 on the play clock, so they will have to snap it. Gonna roll back throw to his left. Inside screen, Sullivan read that one all the way. And a nice job defensively for the Dragons that time. Now we'll take care of quarter number one. So we've got one in the books from Dallas Jesuit Stadium. John Cooper leading it 14-7. Let's take a look real quickly. The Arthur Series coming up. Save that date. The 17th annual Arthur Series will be held Friday, December the 3rd at the Woodlands Waterway Marriott Hotel and Convention Center. It will feature the New York Times bestselling Arthur, Daisy Jones and the Six, and the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. The sponsorship opportunities and visiting Arthur applications are now being available signatures. Great information there about this benefit for the Fine Arts program at John Cooper. Again, that's going to be December the 3rd. So now, second quarter, flipped sides. Cooper will be on the left side. Hawks moving right to left. They'll go empty set. Trips right out left side. Sanford with the reception. Sanford in that first ball game, gave you the numbers earlier.
Down to the 40-yard line.
Sanford in that first ball game, really a non-factor. Wasn't in the offense a whole lot. Now Tripp will hurry to the left. Try to go hurry up. Empty backfield. O'Toole, a little jump pass across the middle and into the end zone. Devin Comstock. They tried to get Cooper off balance. Hurried to the line of scrimmage. O'Toole stepped forward like he was going to run the quarterback draw. And again, that middle seam, they just lob it up in the air, and it is a Hawk touchdown. Now to tie the ball game. Recchiola knocks it through. And coaches on the defensive side will gather up the troops and like, look guys, y'all got to settle down. I think that up-tempo caught them off guard a little bit. They just slip out and nobody picked up the slot receiver. And we have a tie ball game at 7 apiece. So both touchdowns coming to, and now the one-handed reception by Comstock. And the unconventional 14 points for the Hawks.
Sullivan backbeat.
And they've done it a little differently, but it doesn't matter how you do it as long as you get it done. Now, Maciola will return the kickoff, trying to get it across midfield, out past the 30 down to the 35. So the Hawks take the onside kick, run it back for a touchdown, fake the old quarterback draw, and O'Toole finds his receiver, Comstock, with that one-hand reception. Possession number 4. And Pierce to the right. Spread formation. Handed off to Pierce. And not a whole lot of running room up inside. Defensive line once again doing a good job filling in the holes. Offensive line is going to have to come up off that ball and get some movement forward as they did in game number 1. Now McKeever will improvise. Going to keep it and just try to get to the first down marker. Will step out near the 45. Remember in that first ball game, the Dragons ran for 152 yards. Passed for 307. Need to get some more throw. Sullivan has the first down. Trying to get yards after the catch. And we'll get a few. And first down, chains will move. Dragons moving left to right. Got to respond here and put points on the board for your Dragons. Although we said Cistercian averaging close to 30 points a ball game. McKeever has to roll to his right, throws back to his left. Trying to find Hammett.
McKeever's pass is incomplete, intended for Hammett. Second and 10.
Trying to find that receiver wide open, couldn't find him. Maciolo will check out. Sullivan will go into the slot, Hammett on the right. Reed will be up back on the right-hand side, Pierce to the right of him. They're going to use Reed as a blocker. Now Pierce submarined underneath, and that Hawk defense hawking the football.
Pierce on the carry.
Credit the Hawks defense for stepping up.
Connor Roy.
They're not going to let Cooper run that football effectively. It doesn't look like tonight. 13-14 ball game. Wins both sides. Play clock down to 9. Gonna have to hurry this one up. They snap it at 3. Trying to go across the middle. And we talked to keys of the ball game. No penalties and no mistakes. That is interception number 2 for McKeever. Just put too much air underneath the football on that one. So 2 turnovers, uncharacteristic of the most important ball game. Cistercian, not their first rodeo. Pass again across the middle. Busts the tackle. Sanford trying to get it into the end zone, and he will. That middle seam pass has been a nightmare for the Dragon defense. And all of a sudden, the Hawks got to feel good. And this crowd of John Cooper sitting stunned as they see their Dragons go down possibly 21-14 in the first half. It is a 21-14 ball game.
8:21 to play.
So a new score from here at Dallas Jesuit. Cistercian 21, John Cooper 14. Remember in this first ball game, 21 was the number of points Cistercian had in the entire ball game. He broke open, ran through a tackle. You want to put doubt in their mind. And right now, the doubt is starting to creep over. Momentum on the side of the Hawks right now. Dragons expecting maybe a... So now, Cooper offense. Tool with nice throws tonight. Bezo, little things that you got to have worked out. McKeever will keep it himself. Gets it out close to the 40. So when you return the kickoff, your offense should be right there on the sidelines, everybody included.
Second down, 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Big drive here for the Cooper Dragons. McKeever going to keep it. Run through one and try to get the first down. Going to be short by about a yard. McKeever that he's had all year long. You know he wants to win this ball game something tremendously bad. He's going to give it everything he's got to take his team on his back. Handoff, Pierce, straight up the middle. Pierce will have the first down. And this is where you got to tell your offensive line, look guys, it's time to buckle up that chin strap and push that line backward. 1st and 10, handoff inside again. Good job that time by the offensive line. If I'm that offensive line coach, I am in their face telling them, muscle it up, boys. Let's get going. And they did that time, 2nd down, and we'll call it 3. Good first down play. Anytime you get 5 or 6 on the first down, then that makes play calling a lot easier. Trips to the right, single receiver Pierce on the left. Need to score here. Tie this ball game up before halftime. 6:36 to go here tonight before, but couldn't come up with that one. Go back to the well. Put the monkey on the offensive line. And just punch it. Trips right. Pierce will convert with his quarterback, Vaughn McKeever. Hand off inside. There you go. Right down the middle. That's what they got to do. Just keep pounding the rock. As they say, pound that rock. Cooper now with a first down at the 30. Moving right to left. Excuse me, left to right. In case you're wondering, is Cole Shepard.